Hi everybody, Mr. Politics here, and welcome to another video. Trump's insulting remark about British soldiers wanting to fight in Afghanistan. Well, just when you think you can, Trump is going to gaining respect, he goes and does this, insults our dead British soldiers who fought in Afghanistan. Who Tony Blair sent to Afghanistan to help the Americans after 9/11. And this is the thanks we get from Trump. No wonder people hate him. No wonder he's not liked, but of course, he won't change his mind what he said. That was yesterday. But today, apparently, he's backtracked on his remarks and he says how brave and loyal our British soldiers were in Afghanistan. For his information, there were 447 British soldiers who lost their lives in fighting the Taliban, in case Trump hasn't forgotten, or does he need reminding about? And like I've just said, he's now backtracked. He's trying to play down what he said. Well, I'm afraid to say the damage has been done. He's trying to say that our soldiers refused to go out and fight the Taliban. In other words, what he's saying, our soldiers stayed in their in their bases and they wouldn't come out to fight. Well, for your information, Trump, like I've just said, there were 447 British soldiers who lost their lives. And not only that, there were a lot of American soldiers who lost their lives as well. What possessed Trump to say such a thing? We're our allies, and we should be treated with respect. After all, the Americans demand respect. They demand that they be treated with respect. But it would appear that our British soldiers are not. And he's also blaming other NATO countries who were based in Afghanistan the same. This is not going to go down well with the European leaders. This is certainly not going to go down well with them, especially in NATO. I mean, when America were attacked on 9/11, all the world sympathised with America, and we sent, Tony Blair sent our troops to Afghanistan to help the Americans defeat the Taliban. And like I've said, a lot of our soldiers lost their lives, not only from the Taliban, also from what they call friendly fire. The Americans mistakenly identifying our soldiers as Taliban. And of course, that was covered up. But for Trump to say this is, well, quite something. But Trump, being Trump, he won't apologise and he won't back down. Well, like I've said, he's backtracked about this. Apparently, he's now saying that he's praising our soldiers for joining in the fight against the Taliban. In other words, he's trying to cover his tracks and save his skin. A bit like Starmer. Starmer's like that, isn't he? Starmer says things when things are going wrong to save his skin. But of course, at the moment, we've got an administration in the White House which seems to be a bunch of fruitcakes. They seem to be a bunch of fruitcakes. I can't really describe what I think of them, but it is not going to go down well at all. And of course, Starmer, well, he had to, if he say, he had to again try and look statesman like, and trying to show our what a true leader he is. Well, we all know what he is. He's pathetic. No wonder Donald Trump uh, doesn't like him. No wonder Donald Trump doesn't like him. In fact, nobody likes Starmer, do they? But it looks like we're going to like Trump even less. But of course, the Americans, being Americans, and they think they're so cocky, don't they? I mean, look at World War Two. They didn't come into the war until they were attacked by Japan at Pearl Harbor. Pearl Harbor. They didn't join the war till then. Otherwise, if they weren't attacked by Japan at Pearl Harbor, they wouldn't have joined in the war. Although I do give them credit for one thing, for when they fought their war of independence against us, they did kick us out of America. Mad King George was around then, and they did. They did at the time want their freedom, and they've become so powerful, haven't they? The powerfulest nation on earth. But to insult your closest ally, and say that our troops didn't go out to fight is, well, like it says, an insult. And we might not be the greatest nation anymore, like we was. We're only a small little island, but we remember things like this, and we might think that when the Americans need our help next time, we might think long and hard about this, and we won't forget what Donald Trump has said. So they might not get any help from us, although they can go it alone anyway. They've got the biggest army and air force, and they're always bragging, the Americans, how great America is. Anyway, that's the end of this video. Victor Politics here signing off. And remember, don't believe the lies.